Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, March 21st. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, hanging out with my compañero this morning. I got my guy, Mr. TC Stills. TC, we are 7 days away from Yankees opening day against the Astros. How are you feeling, my guy?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, this it can't come fast enough. I'm ready. I'm done with these spring training games. I just want to see some regular games. But without Cole starting, gets me a little nervous. But I have faith in Nestor, and I think with our offense, I think we'll put up a good game opening day. Can't wait. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Obviously, we would like to start the season with the ace of our staff, Garrett Cole. But in the absence of Garrett Cole, I think the guys that we have, they can step up and hold the fort down until Garrett Cole comes back. Shout out to the chat. I want to take a second to shout out to one of the greatest communities that's out there on YouTube. My guy, Sean Browning, is in the building. Sean, how you doing? Big time Jerry Cadale's in the building.
He is.
My guy Damian Serrano is in the building. 01LS1Z28DABX.
Not a show without this guy.
And with Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la Isla is in the building. Alex Valerio is in the building. Michaelino is in the building. L.I. Yankee King, the only troll in the Yankee universe I acknowledge is my guy, L.I. L.I., how are you doing, my guy? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. My guy, Some Yank Fan, is on Twitter. Appreciate you, Some Yank Fan. Like always, if you guys are watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Instagram, if you could just click the link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube, join us for the conversation. Because on YouTube, we are literally 60 subs away from 4K. We're right there. We're at 3,940 something. I don't know off the top of the head. So if you guys can help us out, we are on our way to 4K. I want to shout out my guy, Alex Valerio. How you doing, baby? Yes, sir. 40-0. Yeah. 40 is going, baby. John is in the building. My guy, John, how you doing? Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball.
What's up, Richie?
Guy, how you doing? Now, I know you started the conversation, TC, with Garrett Cole. Right. And I said we want to start the season with Garrett Cole, but I feel that we can go into the season with the guys that we have and they can hold down the fort. But if the Yankees front office doesn't believe they can hold down the fort, I don't mind them adding an addition. And it came out last night that the New York Yankees and Jordan Montgomery, they're in talks right now. My guy, Joey Randanzo, he put it out there on Twitter. Jordan Montgomery is the move if the Yankees are all in. It should have been Blake Snell after his price and his years dropped, but this is a way to compensate for that. Monty, he has a lot going for him. For one, he's been here before. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's a stellar Game 3 starter. If you need a dub for a swing game in a series, absolutely. I'm going to pause it right there before reading our guy Julian from Dugout Station. But TC, how you feel about the Jordan Montgomery rumors?
I mean, with how slim the market is with guys out there, and we know Jordan Montgomery. We've had him here, but I love that they're talking to him. I mean, it's about time. Cashman, needs to put aside his ego and realize, he made a mistake. He made a mistake getting rid of Jordan Montgomery. He undervalued him. He's he's proven he's a big game pitcher now. I mean, he came through in that World Series and the playoffs last year. I'm 50-50 on that. I'm not sold. I mean, 1 year doesn't make a pitcher, but we know what we get out of Jordan Montgomery. He's going to give you 5-6 innings. He keeps the ball down. I mean, that's all we need. We need some guys to eat up some innings. With Cole being down, I just don't want to go into this season with a bunch of unknowns, a bunch of rookies. This is an all-in season. Honestly, with the Soto signing, it's an all-in season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This isn't a rebuild. That we're not bringing up every single rookie to fill in a merry-go-round fifth starter. So having Jordan Montgomery in there behind Rodon and Stroman, I mean, that sounds great to me until Cole gets back, and then hey, he slots back. Maybe he's the fourth starter, Jordan Montgomery. I mean, that's great to me. I don't know what you guys think.
I said it on the last show, TC, right? Whatever starting pitcher the Yankees go out there to add to this rotation, we understand you cannot replace Garrett Cole. He is the best pitcher in League Baseball. We're not asking Jordan Montgomery to be better than Garrett Cole or replace Garrett Cole. We are asking Jordan Montgomery to be better than Luke Weaver. We are asking Jordan Montgomery to be better than Cody Petit. That's who we're asking Jordan Montgomery to be better than. And no shade. No shade to Luke Weaver, no shade to Cody Petit, because they can throw a baseball, and I'm just here on YouTube being an arm string quarterback, right? As they say, a Monday night quarterback, right? Or a Monday morning quarterback, whatever it's called. But I want to shout out people in the chat. Shout out to the homie Sierra in the building. Sierra is one of the homies from Twitter. If you guys can, please welcome her to the familiar over here on YouTube. Sierra says, we don't want another merry-go-around. Sign him or don't. Stroman and Smith are locked in and they are ready to go. And I got to echo what Sierra said, and I'll throw it over to UTC. When it comes to Scott Boras and his clients, when it comes to John Heyman, I've laid it out on several shows. We understand the relationship that John Heyman has with Scott Boras. Like you said, if the Yankees are actually engaging in conversations with Jordan Montgomery, go ahead, do it. Go ahead and sign him. But if this is another way for Scott Boras to use the Yankees to leverage a contract for his client, I don't want no parts of it, because I've mentioned it before. It's easy for a reporter to leak something out there to the media if he has a connection with the agent. What teams can't do, and this is because of the union, teams can't come out there and say, I am out on Jordan Montgomery, because you're killing the market for that player. What they can say is, we're done adding players to this roster. We're done looking at players, but you cannot name a specific player because that violates the union agreement that the teams have. It's kind of unfair for the team owners and for the fan base, because us fans, we see these rumors on Twitter. We see these rumors in the news and the headlines and everything, but 50% of the time, they're not real. They're not real takes. They're just fabricated stuff that is coming out from the agent using whatever beat writer they can just to generate some clicks and generate some noise for their client. Michaelino in the chat said Monty Omoto got lit. Oh, Yamamoto. Yeah, Yamamoto got lit up today. Call me salty, but I'm happy. Michaelino, I am right there with you. The man wasn't even able to get out the first inning. 5 runs given up to the San Diego Padres, who they aren't a sleeper like San Diego. I know they don't have Juan Soto, but they're still a good offense. But this morning, when I woke up and I saw that headline that Yamamoto got lit up over there, I was pretty happy. TC, what was your thoughts? And again, continue the conversation that I brought up talking about Boras and Monty.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm happy. I mean, the guy spurned us. He said he was coming here and wants to be with his buddy over there, Otani, and it's good to see. I mean, you don't wish. Yeah, I guess you don't wish ill will on a lot of people, but hey, not making it out of the first inning and all that money they paid him. Hey, he hasn't pitched it in the majors, so guess what? There's your introduction to MLB baseball. But hey, as far as Monty goes, I think you have a point. I think they're trying to drive up the price. Anytime you bring the Yankees involved, you drive up the price, and they know, and Boras knows where the Yankees are at. Their ace is down. We're kind of backs against the wall. There's not much out there, but Cashman, I don't think he's going to cave. I mean, they might be talking, but we're not. He's not going to fall for any 5-year, $200 million. It's not going to happen. He's not going to do any long term. If they're getting Montgomery, it's a short term deal. Look at what Blake Snell, 2 years. What he gets, 60 some mil, 62 or something.
It's 60. It's like 62, 65, something like that.
Yeah, Montgomery's not that. I 2 to 3 years for Montgomery at the most. I mean, it's just. I'd love a 1-year deal, but Boris is probably not pushing for something like that. But
listen,
if we don't get him, we're okay. It's not all in for Montgomery. I'm not.
I was gonna say, TC,
how I feel. Yeah,
we're literally in the fourth quarter right now with less than a minute to go. Jordan Montgomery has to sign sooner rather than later to a major league team. And I see some chats out there. I want to bring one up right now. My guy Alex Valario.
Has he done any training for spring training?
That's what we know. And you cannot simulate in-game action on a practice field. You cannot take in-game what's going on when it comes to trying to be in zone and replicate that on a high school field or a college field. That has to be in-game situation. You can't even do that in an amateur league, right? So we don't know if Jordan Montgomery or what he has been doing. Blake Snell, we know he was working out in the offseason trying to stay ready, but is he going to be able to be ready by the second week, third week, or fourth week in the season? That's what you have to that's what the San Francisco Giants have to be worried about. My guy Alex Valario with a great question. My question is, why hasn't any other team signed him? Is the asking price too high? And I'm going to tell you this right now, Alex. It's because of Scott Boras. Scott Boras, and rightfully so, because it's a part of his job, he has to maximize the most he can for his client. And on top of it, Scott Boras gets about 10 to 15% of that. So he has to make sure his bag is secured on top of making sure he can get his client whatever he can. TC, just hold on 1 second because we got our guy NFE backstage. I want to bring up NFE to join us in the conversation. And for those people in the chat, we are going to put out the link for the open panel around like 11:30, 11:45. Everybody will be able to rock out on the open panel. But I'm going to bring up my guy NFE right now. NFE, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready, big time. There's my guy right here. NFE, what it does. Hold on. There you go. How you feeling,
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, NFE.
How we doing?
Good.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you for answering the call. NFE is one of the members of the clique that we got when it comes to the Yankee content creators. So I got to ask you, NFE, you're listening to the
Wolfpack? Is that the Wolfpack?
The Wolfpack, baby.
The clique was, Triple
right.
H, Steve, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels. That's their crew that they have. But NFE, I'm gonna throw it over to you, my guy. Jordan Montgomery, the rumors. What's your thoughts? How you feeling?
Well, yeah. So as far as the Monty news goes, I mean, it is John Heyman, so sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt. If the Yankees are talking with him, great. I would love. I can't. So yeah, no doubt. I agree with Richie's comment there. Yeah. Look, I wouldn't be opposed to him signing with the Yankees. However, at what price? What's going to be the deal? Because I'm not looking to give him, oh boy. Yeah, I'm not looking to give him like a long-term deal, not 7 years like he was been looking for. I'm giving him like 2 years maybe. Yeah. At the most, and this is me being nice, at the most I would say 4, but I'm not going.
Hold on 1 second, my fault, NFE. Sorry about that. Just want to shout out Uncle Tats for buying us 3 coffees this morning. Shout out to you, Uncle Grandpa Tats. Uncle Tats says, morning, fam. Grab your coffee and let's go, Yankees. Big G is coming to play this year. Absolutely, Uncle Grandpa Tats. And for those of you in the chat that are watching us for the first time, and it's like, what does he mean buy us a coffee? Over here on YouTube, YouTube takes about 30% of whatever we make from super chats and from ad revenue and whatever. So if you guys want to support us, click the link that's in the bio. Click the link that's right there in the chat. You can buy us a coffee over there on buymeacoffee.com. We get to keep 95% of that instead of like just the 70% from YouTube. So appreciate everybody that is out there. And again, thank you so much, Uncle Grandpa Tats. And Sierra, Skinny Stanton, aka Slim Scanton, is the king. Absolutely. We'll jump into Stanton right after this. But NFE, keep going because you brought up his contract. our friend Julian over on Dugout Station said the Yankees are talking to Jordan Montgomery per John Heyman, but there's a gap. And Montgomery's camp is using Aaron Nola's 7 years, $172 million contract as a base in the negotiation. Again, this is just Scott Boras using his friend in the media, John Heyman, to just bring up the asking price or just to start a conversation with his client. 7 years, 172. I wish Monty all the luck in the world. I'm not giving him that. For the simple fact, you got better starting pitchers that are going to be free agents next offseason. If we were in a scenario or a situation, I want to get your fellas' takes so that the folks in the chat let us know as well. We got over 120 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button. But if Garrett Cole was out for the entire season, I'm signing Jordan Montgomery to 7 years, 170, whatever he wants. I'm signing him. But the fact that Garrett Cole is only going to miss 2 to 3 months of the season and we're going to have him for the second half, I'm not too worried about what we have right now because we have Luis Hill. We got a lot of young pitchers that they're not going to be able to give you 150 innings, 180 innings, but they can hold down the fort for those 2 or 3 months until Garrett Cole comes back. TC, I would have throw it over to you and then swing it over to my guy NFE to get his take on it.
Yeah, I'm a little curious why you said that about Cole being out the whole year. You would sign him to a 7-year deal. I don't think that makes a difference to me. I wouldn't, regardless. I'm not signing him to 7 years. I'm still looking at it the same way, 2 to 3 years. We got Soto. Soto's our priority next year to sign, and we're going to be way over the salary cap, the threshold, whatever. So that would be my priority. I'm trying to minimize the years and money to Montgomery. And another thing we forgot to bring up is the resume of Jordan Montgomery. He doesn't have a resume like an Aaron Nola or Blake Snell or or even Corbin Burns. I mean, Jordan Montgomery at best is a number 3, number 4 starter. He's been that from the get-go with the Yankees. And the Yankees had no faith in him, and other teams see that. He had a breakout season last year, and that's what Scott Boras is banking on. But overall, Jordan Montgomery is not worth that kind of money. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going 7 years. There's no way.
No, let me rephrase what I'm saying.
I'll give you a chance. Go ahead.
In this starting market right now, with what's available on the starting market, Jordan Montgomery is worth that because there's no other starting pitcher that's on the starting market that the Yankees can get. So when you look at the market, he is definitely worth that because who's available out there?
But for 7 years?
It's the market. If the Yankees had no, and I'm saying if Garrett Cole was out, the Yankees have no leverage in the conversation. The fact that Garrett Cole will be back in 3 months, the Yankees are in the driving seat of the conversation. But if Garrett Cole was out for the rest of the year, if I'm Jordan Montgomery, I'm not taking nothing less than 4 years. You're going to have to give me 7 years because your team is desperate right now. You don't have an ace for the remainder of the season. So that's why I said if Garrett Cole was out, I will bite that bullet because there's no other option. For 3 months, we can hold down the fort for 3 months with Luis Hill on inning limitations, Will Warren on inning limitations, and Chase Hampton on inning limitations. We can't do that for the entire season because they won't be able to give you more than 120 to 150 innings because of their limitations of how many innings they have on their arm.
But at the same time, do you believe that Garrett Cole is going to be out 1 to 2 months? With this Yankee medical staff, I don't trust a bit. I'm thinking he might be out for at least the first half, past the All-Star break. I don't trust the Yankees medical staff. That doctor that he went to go see is not a part of the Yankees medical staff. That's an independent doctor that has his own practice. So when that doctor, who's not a part of the Yankees medical staff, who treats every other pitcher in Major League Baseball, who has his own practice in LA, when he says 2 to 3 months, I believe him. NFE, what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I'm still not going to give Monty 7 years. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. I just wouldn't, man. The thing is, look, if teams were desperate, if they were somebody would have given him that deal by now. Like the Red Sox would have given him that deal. Like he did talk with the Red Sox. They would have given him that deal, but not for 7 years. I would not give him 7 years. Even if Garrett Cole was out for the whole year, me personally, I wouldn't give him 7 years. I just wouldn't. You know, the thing is, like, they have options internally, but I'm not saying that they'll go with those options. Maybe they will, you know, just knowing how the Yankees are right now. They could go, you know, they could go with one of their internal options, but I wouldn't go 7. Like I said, if I'm being nice to Monty, I'm going 4. And if you notice with all of Boris's clients so far, you know, all of his clients are signing short-term deals because they're not looking to pay up. So even if, you know, Monty's the only other pitcher on the market right now, the only, like, good starting pitcher. That's right. That's right. You know, I still am not going to give him 7 years. I'm not going to give him an Aaron Nola type of deal. I'm just not going to.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, listen, and I respect the stance that both of you were taking. You're standing down 10 toes. My way of looking at it as, if the Yankees, if their back is against the wall, and this is supposed to be an all-in season, you cannot have an all-in season with Garrett Cole missing the entire season and not adding to your rotation. That's why I said if Garrett Cole was out for the remainder of this season and going into next year, I would bite the bullet and sign Jordan Montgomery, because there's no one else left out there on the market. Who are we going to do? We're going to trade all of our prospects for Jesus Luzardo, who's never pitched more than 120 innings in a season. So that's what I'm saying. When you look at the market, there's hardly any options out there besides Shane Bieber the Yankees can go get. And at this stage in the game, who do you guys have more faith in, Shane Bieber or Jordan Montgomery?
I mean, I have more faith in Monty, right? But again, it's one of those things. I'm just like I wasn't gonna sign Blake Snell to a 9-year deal. I'm not signing Monty to a 7-year. I'll go 4 tops. Like I said, that's my cutoff.
Copy. What about you, TC? Where are you cutting it off at before you move over to the skinny Stanton's talks?
Yeah. I'm with NFE. I'm about 3 to 4. 4. I don't know if I would even go 4. 3. I mean, 3 years tops for, you know. I just can't. I can't put a long-term deal in for Monty. I'm sorry. I mean, he might be good this year, next year, but long-term, you know, I don't know how much he has.
And he's still a couple of years younger than Blake Snell.
Yeah,
Monty is younger than Blake Snell.
The resume is making me hesitant.
But when you look at both Blake Snell and Monty, the one thing, or the two things I should say, Blake Snell has is the fact that Blake Snell has 2 Cy Youngs.
Right.
You know,
that's
so
true.
That's the one thing. When you look at I'm sorry, I'm getting like text message. That's why I like froze for a second. When you look at the innings, Monty has pitched more innings than Blake Snell has pitched more innings in his career.
Yeah. But we saw Monty here in New York. We know what he gives us. That's the thing. We saw this over, you know, already. So that's what Yankee fans are looking at. He was an average pitcher. I mean, we honestly, at the time when we gave him up for Bader, a lot of people were like, yeah, that's a good deal. And, you know, now we're seeing that was probably a mistake, but, you know, we really got kind of sick of Montgomery because he just was that average pitcher. He never took that step forward to be the big game pitcher that he became last year. So we're a little weary of that. In New York, it's, you know, the spotlight. In Texas, it wasn't as much. New York, he's going to be brought in here and they'll be saying, you're replacing Garrett Cole. That's tough. That's tough.
No, but that's the thing. He's not replacing Garrett Cole. That's the one thing
Yankee fans will say that you're in here right now to temporarily replace Garrett Cole. So let's see the Garrett Cole production. He's not going to do that.
Go ahead, NFE.
No, I was just saying that, you know, I know a lot of people were. I like Jerry's comment, actually, Jerry Cadillo. He said 2 years with an opt out after the 3rd year opt out. I did like that. That might be a good idea. And yeah, I mean, look, I like Monty, right? But at best, he's you know, a number 3 starter, and he's not replacing Cole. There's no way.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, at the most I would give him, you know, a 4-year deal. I wouldn't go over 4, but I'd be okay with a 2 to 3 that would be the best. That would be the best option.
Yeah.
But I'm not going over 4. 4 is my, that's my cutoff.
And if you're the Yankees right now, you're driving the conversation because you have all the leverage in the world with Garrett Cole coming back in 2 to 3 months. Go ahead, NFE, my fault.
No, you're good. And real quick, I wanted to point this out too, because I know a lot of people were upset when the Yankees traded Montgomery, but I understood why. I know a lot of fans don't see it. Some fans don't see it. I understood why they traded him, because they needed a center fielder. I mean, yeah, when they got Bader, he was hurt, but when he was playing though, he performed well. I mean, he did help the Yankees in the ALDS. He brought a different type of energy. He brought a different type of fire. His downfall was he was just freaking hurt too much. He was hurt often. That was his biggest problem. He just couldn't stay healthy. Other than that, I mean, his bat was pretty decent. His defense was good, but but when you look at it now, it's kind of like it didn't exactly work out the way we had hoped. But,
and I think some Yankee fans, even till this day, it's a battle back and forth. Should we have traded Monty? Should we have not traded Monty? Right. Should we just have kept him? It's a whole back and forth. And seeing the comments that came out after Monty was traded and how the Yankees weren't using him properly, not allowing him to throw his fastball, yada, yada, yada. It was easy for Yankee fans just to blame the team instead of just, the player or whatever, right? But I want to switch gears because I know Ciara in the chat, she really wants to talk about Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. So let's bring up Mr. Giancarlo Stanton, who is getting ready for a bounce back season this year. Giancarlo Stanton, he had 3 home runs, an amazing game last night. Before I throw it over to you guys, I want to bring up 2 more people we got backstage. I'm bringing up my guy Damien and Chris. Damien, let me get a thumbs up. Chris, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you guys are ready to rock. So I'm going to bring up Damien and Chris right now. Let me just move things over. 1 second. Bingo, bango.
You can't forget the biggest Stanton fan around. Our boss, the boss.
I know. I'm waiting for Celso. He's backstage pressing buttons. If he can come up and talk to us about Giancarlo Stanton, folks in the chat, if you guys can, please smack that like button. We got over 190 people in the building, so if you guys can, please smack the like button. And like Ciara said, give the man his flowers. Drop the flower emoji in the chat right now.
Is that Alex Damien Rodriguez back there?
No,
look at this guy.
That's fly guy.
What up, everybody?
Oh my goodness, fly guy. Damien, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm great, especially after Big G last night. And before anybody even attempts this,
you're muted, Damien.
So forth. You got me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Before any fans sit there and say Big G was only hitting, 85, 90 miles an hour, if he wasn't doing it, we'd be taking the crap on him. Mm-hmm. So the fact that my man sat there and did it, 3 home runs, give him his flowers, because my man has worked all off season. We've seen his body is completely changed. He looks great in the outfield. And Celso, this is for you, brother. I mean, Big G just doing it for you, man.
Listen, Hector said I couldn't be inappropriate this morning, but I told him, listen, that man, he had me going.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Easy.
I texted you and Hector immediately. I said, this is for Jigga.
So. You know why he didn't even respond last night? Because he was in a meeting with HR because of how inappropriate he was going to act on stream today. That's why he ain't answer your text message
last night. I was like, God, this is great.
And like Ciara says, she says, no thumbs down for Damien with the hot take right there. 100%. Damien gets no thumbs down.
I appreciate it, Ciara. Thank you.
Oh man. All right, but no, Damien, listening to the conversation so far, we're talking about Giancarlo Stanton. Reality, expectation. What do you expect out of Big G this season? Because yes, the 3 home runs against the Pittsburgh Pirates was amazing. He's getting hot right at the right time. What is your expectations for Big G? And I want to throw it over to Chris, and then NFE, and then TC Stills as well. And then, of course, Jigga, he's going to interrupt whenever he can because that's Jigga. Go ahead, Dame.
My expectation for Big G is my expectation from every single season since we got the MVP guy. Go out, carry the team on his back when he has to, be a streaky hitter. As we all know, Big G is streaky. But Big G, we all know, can also carry your team on his back. So anybody, the guy's obviously been injured. We know his past, but he went, transformed everything this year. And about a month and a half ago, I said it on the show, comeback player of the year. I firmly believe that. I'm not going to go away from it. I'm not going to shy from it. And I'm going to stand by that until the season ends. And, God willing, at the end of it, my man is there with both his legs intact. And he's sitting there with over 100 RBIs, over 40 home runs. And he's the comeback player of the season. If not, then, we got the same old Big G, just a different body type. But I'm looking for big year for him. I really am.
Mm-hmm. Damian said the Q-tip legs are going to be intact this season for our guy Giancarlo Stanton. Anna Marie LeBeau in the chat says, I'll say it again. I hope Big G proves me wrong and he has a comeback season. He looked great yesterday. And Ciara says, serious question for Chris. Are you in Antarctica? Perfect way for me to throw it over to you, Chris. Chris, how you feeling? Good morning, my guy.
Good morning. Good morning. So, yeah, Pennsylvania feels like Antarctica right now. And I work in the cooler. So, yeah, you're pretty close, Sierra. Big G. Big G, man. I said it when we first having conversations about, our expectations for just the Yankee squad this year. I said Big G at about 240, 250 in between and 30 home runs. He might surpass that. The slimming down might have helped him. When you have a big body type like that, being so bulky and overworking your body during the off season, it's not a good thing. We kind of see it with Judge, where Judge just stays afloat where he's at. He doesn't get too bulky. He doesn't get too overweight. He just and it's the same size. So, if he can stay healthy, and I think they're going to try to keep him healthy. Let's keep it real. Our outfield is deep right now. We can give him days off with Grisham. We can give him Oscar Gonzalez even coming in on days off. So I think if they help him stay healthy, even Oswaldo Cabrera can play the outfield. So it's like you can give him those days off because we have so many outfielders now. Something we.
Oh, he got frozen in Antarctica. That's what happens.
He did.
So there you go. There you go, Chris. You good?
They thought him out.
Yeah, it's tough in Antarctica, fellas. It's tough out here. And as far as Monty, real quick, I said this a couple times. 2 years, $52 million. Opt out after 1. That's it. Take it or leave it, bro. You don't have a job as it is, so you can't beggars can't be choosers. And you said it earlier. There's going to be a good pitching market next year for free agency, and on top of that, we have good kids coming up. We talk to Dane all the time. There's some kids that have high value that are coming up. Don't block that with a 6-year. And, I agree with NFE where the max would have been 4, but even that's blocking it. So for me personally, 2 max, take it or leave it, brother. We appreciate what you did. And I do agree with the sentiment. I was a little upset when we traded him, but this is a different team, different circumstance, different situation. If we never traded him, 7-year deal back then, cool. Now that's out the picture. It's out the window.
Chris, listen, Chris is making me change my tune now. He's spitting facts right now. It's 2 highlights that 2 chats I want to highlight, and I'll throw it over to Seltzer real quick. But Erica Garcia in the chat, if this is Erica from Twitter, let us know and welcome them to the familiar. But Erica says, all we can do is hope that he can carry this into the season. We know his slumps are bad and his streaks are hot. We just got to be patient with him and hope he doesn't get hurt. Absolutely, Erica. And Uncle Grandpa Tats with the $4.99 super chat, helping us keep the lights on and helping me keep money so I can buy me some Pokemon cards when I go to Target later today. But Uncle Tats says, Stanton, the player with 9 lives, just how many lives are left? Big G is going to have a big year. Celso, I'm going to throw it over to you real quick because I know you got to dip off, and Giancarlo Stanton is your man crush. So I'll let you go and then throw it over to NFE and then TC. Go ahead.
Word. Before I do that, Anthony Medina bought us 5 coffees. What up, guys? Here's a little something for you. And so looking forward to baseball season. Let's go, Yankees. Medina. Appreciate you, my guy. And if you want, before I go, I saw Eli just drop one. You want to pull that one up?
Yeah, LA Yankee King. Appreciate you, LA, with the $9.99, helping me keep the lights on and helping me get V-Bucks so I could buy some skins on Fortnite. Thank you, LA Yankee King. But LA Yankee King says what I don't understand is what Yankee fans are saying. We need innings from our starting pitcher, our fifth starting pitcher. When Will Warren can give the Yankees 180 innings this year, the Yankees don't need Jordan Montgomery. We are fine with Will Warren. I see your point, LA Yankee King, but when you look at how teams allow pitchers to build up their arms, Will Warren pitched 130 innings last year. If at most the Yankees, I could see them allowing him to pitch 160 innings. I don't think 180 innings is realistic for Will Warren. Hey, I could be wrong. Maybe he does pitch 180 innings. 2 years ago, LA Yankee King was saying that Aaron Judge would be a first baseman. We all laughed at him. He was taking rips at first base this year in spring training. So a broken clock is right twice out of the day. Go ahead, Sels, and then throw it over to NFE.
Yeah, I mean, you knew I had to come on after Stanton last night, right? But listen, put my fandom aside. Everybody in this community knows my love for Giancarlo, right? The biggest thing for me, guys, outside of the fact that he gave us 1,300 feet worth of home runs yesterday, okay, in a meaningless spring training game, is how much calmer does he look at the plate? Right? You're not seeing that second guessing, and just that power swing. The biggest concern right now was, is he going to have that power with him slimming down? Is he going to look the part? Is it not the Superman Giancarlo we're used to? And to see that, hey, that was answered last night. The power is still there. The speed of those home runs is still there. So that we can find peace in. I love what he said after the game. Yeah, it was cool. But next week, no one's going to remember this shit. You know what I mean? And it's the truth. It's the truth. But the fact is, it seems like he's in control. That we were all worried about not only the weight, but we saw him changing his swing, right? It takes a lot in an offseason to slim down the way he did, get mentally right after the shitty season he had last year, and then change your swing on top of that. So the fact that we did see that last night outside of the amazing home runs is, hey, he's showing that he is that Giancarlo that we were hoping for. And this is just words of, he's going to be amazing. Nah, we get that bounce back that we're hoping for. This is the kind of Stanton we need. We can afford a slimmer, healthier, sexier Giancarlo Stanton, bitches. All right, I had to.
Right? Language. All right, this is a family-friendly
and before
show.
I go, let me just say one more thing, Heck, for the people in the chat. Find comfort in Hector does not control our finances, okay? Because if every coffee and super chat went to Hector, it'd be just Pokemon cards and we'd have no content. All right.
And the fact is, people may be laughing, but that's like 95% true. Damien knows that, Celso knows that, TC, everybody knows that that's like 99% true. I want to shout out for you, Celso. Thank you so much for always rocking out. The number one producer out there in the live stream community is our guy, Mr. Celso Porto.
Love that guy.
Appreciate
and
you.
Really quick, let's not forget, guys, Big G's hitting over 300 right now and one dotting on his OPS. So, guys, give him his flowers. This guy's putting in the work. Let's go ahead and, for once as a fan base, let's stand behind him and not be so quick to take a poop on him. Keep the language clean. Let's stand behind the team in general. We got a lot of ups and downs as a fan base. Let's just stand behind the team right out the gate, and it may change some things for us. Who knows?
First of all, LA Yankee King, this is my favorite comment of the day. He said, #justice for Hector. Let him buy the Pokemon cards. LA Yankee King, that's the best comment of the day. I appreciate you. Erica in the chat says, what's up, guys? Yes, this is Erica from Twitter/X. Sup, y'all? Just sub. Excited for these streams. Erica, I'm excited as well. And for those of you guys that are joining us from Twitter, if this is your guys' first time here, we do an open panel, just like the guys out here, just like we do on X, allow people to come up. I'm going to drop the link right now for the open panel where anyone is allowed in the chat to come up and join us for the conversation. We just got some ground rules. One, you just got to respect the terms and services of YouTube, of Twitter, of Instagram, and of Facebook. If somebody is in the middle of giving a take, allow them to finish because the same time will be given to you so you can finish your fake. And also, don't be a douchebag. That's the number one rule. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be mean to people. Let's all have a good time. NFE, I'll throw it over to you. Go ahead, my brother, and then throw it over to TC Stills.
So I'm feeling good about Giancarlo. Ever since that weight loss, I'm like, this is good. It's going to be good for him, especially with his body type at his age. it's important for athletes to slim down. So I think that's going to help with him not going to the IL. So hopefully it does prevent that, because again, when you have athletes that are huge, that are big like that, there's a likelier chance that they're going to go to the IL. So hopefully with him slimming down, that's going to prevent that. And I know a little bit just from experience, just doing sports. So, but I think he will have a great year. I'm confident that he's going to have a great year. He's looking a lot better at the plate. There's a night and day difference. I know it's spring training. I get that. And these games are not going to matter next week, but there's a difference. I see a difference in him at the plate now than last season. And I think going into this season, I think he's going to do well. As far as, I think he's going to be hitting a lot of bombs. I think I'm going to give him about 35 to 40 bombs. That's what I'm predicting. Batting average, I want to see like 250 to 260. Yeah. I think it needs to be above 191. It needs to be above 191. It needs to be above 200. We can't have another 200 batting average from Giancarlo. That's unacceptable. But I feel good about him personally. Yeah. And this is kind of a do or die year for him. This is his year to prove himself, because he's got a couple of guys that are chomping at the bit that would love to be in a spot right now. So, eyes are on him. That's all I'm going to say.
No, if there's ever been a moment where the eyes are on Giancarlo Stanton, is right now. I think, like somebody put it in the chat, how many lives does he have? He has as many lives left as years on that contract. That's the lives that is left on Giancarlo Stanton. TC, what's your thought before I bring up the other fellas to join us in on the conversation and give you go ahead, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, it must have been difficult for him. I mean, he's coming, from a resume of hitting 40 plus home runs and being that guy, being the MVP. And he took a look in the mirror and said, I don't want to repeat this. I came here to do a job, to win a World Series for this team, and I'm letting everybody down. And he finally, said, I got to make a change. He slimmed down. And you see the difference. He's getting to balls. The swing is still there. I mean, the power is still there. He's not losing any power. It's that bat speed. He's got great bat speed. So I'm not worried about any home run. The home run numbers going down. The average needs to go up. 250 would be phenomenal. I would love 250, but as long as he's in like 230, 240 range, I mean, he's got a lot of protection there. He's got Soto now, and Judge is there, Verdugo. We got a great balance in our lineup now. He doesn't have to be the guy to carry the team. So a lot of less pressure. And I understand these are spring training games, but any baseball game gives you confidence. That game last night gave you confidence. It doesn't matter that it was spring training. So that helps going into the season. He knows he still has it. He knows he can do this. So that was huge for him. And I'm looking for big things. And if he can do that throughout the season, this lineup is untouchable. I mean, they're gonna destroy teams. So that's good. Yeah. I'm glad for him.
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna throw it over to you in 1 second, right? I just want to make this one point. When it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, right, and when it comes to Alex Verdugo, I believe by the time Jason Dominguez comes back, we're going to see a transitional period where Alex Verdugo and Giancarlo Stanton become platoon players. Because when you look at their splits, Alex Verdugo, he has horrible numbers against left-handed pitching. He is phenomenal against right-handed pitching, but he's dead awful against left-handed pitching. Giancarlo Stanton, on the flip side, last year, he was a 267 hitter against left-handed pitching. So if you could have Verdugo against righties and Giancarlo Stanton against lefties, combine that together, that is a above league average Major League Baseball guy contributing to your lineup. Chris, I'll throw it over to you because I know you got to dip out soon because you host the Yankees pod over there with Jimmy Randazzo at 12 o'clock on X. Folks in the chat that don't know, I've been doing X, right? Thank you to my guy Chris for introducing me to a lot of the folks that are on there. We see them in the chat right now. Thank you so much to Sierra, Erica, and everybody who's in the building. I appreciate you guys. And I want to say this. I want to let everybody know. I let people on Twitter know, because of Chris, I was invited this Saturday to New York One News to talk Yankees. I would have never got that message if I never opened up my Twitter account, because I got so many unread messages on Twitter. I got the message yesterday from the producer. I thought it was a fake account. I had to Google and actually see, oh no, this person actually works for New York One. So I'll be there this Saturday recording with my guy Anthony Rivera from the Subway to Shade podcast. Chris, I'll throw it over to you again, my brother.
Nice.
Thank you so much, bro.
Listen, it's a pleasure, man. Like, you know, with you, TC, Jigga, Phil, Eddie, like what you guys do is amazing. Ever since I kind of got connected with you guys, it's amazing. Like, that's hard work. You know, I appreciate the love, but that's your hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the effort that you're putting in to your channel and what you got going on. So all salute, my brother. I wish you nothing but the best. And, you know, between X, we're gonna do some things and take it to the top. Yeah, on the whole, because I do agree, right? So Joe Torre said this the other day, and it kind of it kind of stuck to me. So we tend to like downplay.
Keep talking, Chris. I just want to Sunil and Caputo. I'm gonna bring you guys up, but I'm gonna mute you guys while Chris is talking, and after Chris is done, I'll unmute you guys. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so Joe Torre had the interview with Meredith the other day, and we can downplay spring training a little bit, but Joe Torre kind of said it the other day. He's like, "Look, spring training is important." And when you got a Hall of Fame manager like that saying that spring training's important, I think that's a sign. Like, I get it, the games don't matter, but your product matters. Like what you're doing at the plate, on the mound, like that matters because it leads into the season. Now, is it a all in all what's going to be all year? No, but you have to have somewhat of a good spring training to lead into the season. If Giancarlo, for one, is coming out 0 for 14, 9 strikeouts, how are we looking at Giancarlo right now? How are we looking at the outfield situation right now? And I do agree, and that's kind of my point earlier, what you said, like Verdugo and Stanton's numbers help each other out so much that you're going to be able to give Stanton those days off. And that's amazing for Stanton. There's no pressure to play every game in DH because his body will break down. We've seen it. My last point is what I said last week. I said it, fellas. Look, Glaber, 2 for 3 yesterday. Soto, 2 for 3. Judge looked like he never missed a day. A double, a walk. Saw the ball really well. Had the walk, had the double. Rizzo down the line, double. This offense will carry us. So yes, will another pitcher help us? Yes, pitching will always help you, but at the end of the day, if we don't get it done, we're gonna be okay. I feel like some of these kids and some of the merry-go-round with what we will do with the fifth pitcher will carry us, and this offense will do good until Cole comes back. And then when that happens, especially if we're at a good record and a good place in the AL, be careful because we're getting it's like you're trading for Cole 2 months in, 3 months in, whatever the the final date will be. Like you're getting the best pitcher in baseball 2 months into the season. It's amazing. I believe in this offense, and let's go Yankee boys. Let's go Yankees.
Chris, my guy, appreciate you, my brother. Love you, my guy, like always.
Always love
Definitely
you guys.
Looking forward to doing amazing stuff this season.
Chris.
If you guys aren't following
Chris.
my guy, Chris, Allentown's finest over there on X. Chris, I'll see you out there on these Twitter streets, brother.
You know it. Have a good one, fellas.
Later, my guy. And I just want to say happy birthday to our friend Jonathan on the open panel. If you guys can, drop the birthday cake in the chat for our guy Jonathan. He turned 18 years old today. He is allowed to go on roller coaster rides. He is allowed to go on planes by himself. He doesn't need his parents' permission anymore to go on vacation. Jonathan, how you feeling? Happy birthday.
Well, I'm definitely older than 18. I'm probably a little older than you, Hector. But I'm feeling basically a new decade now. So
yeah, that's it. It's just another year around the sun. The only difference is your knees hurt more when you're standing up. That's literally it, Jonathan. Hold on for me just 1 second real quick. Sorry about that. I just want to put this in the chat because Celso's going to kill me if I don't. Just to let everybody out there know, I'm a highlighted. Hold on. It may take us a while to get the attention of the big sponsors because they only care about money. So let's try this with our community. If you guys are out there, if you guys have a small business, if you guys have anything that you guys are doing outside of YouTube and you guys want to promote it over here on the Morning Brew Sports, we are powered by our community. This is a grassroots effort. Our guy Double A has his own real estate company down there in Florida. We're going to start highlighting his company. If anybody out there, if you have an HVAC company, if you have an electric company, if you're a personal trainer like my guy NFE, if there's anything out there you guys do and you want to promote it, let us know and we will highlight and promote it over here on the Morning Brew Sports, because we are a channel that is for the fans, by the fans, and we are powered by the fans. But I want to switch up the topic real quick because we could probably spend all day talking about Giancarlo Stanton. We got to talk about somebody else because we bring up Carlos or we bring up Garrett Cole. We talk about Jordan Montgomery. But we got to talk about Mr. Carlos Rodon, who had 5 2/3 no-hit innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. 5 2/3, no hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 72 pitches. Brian Hoge put it out there that Carlos Rodon was scheduled for 75 pitches. He threw 72. And when Joe Torre walked to the mound, Carlos Rodon was like, you know what? I'm going to just give it to Torre. I'm not going to even argue with him. I'm going to throw it over to you first, TC. What's your thoughts when it comes to Carlos Rodon? Then throw it over to my guy NFE and then Damian, and then I'll get Sunil, Caputo, and Jonathan on the conversation as well. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big year from Carlos Rodon, and you know he's got it. He's going to get a whole full spring, you know. In last year he missed first 3 months of baseball, so he's got something to prove now with Cole being down. He definitely has something to prove now. I mean, he's got to come in and be that ace, and he's showing it right now. He's showing the back's healthy. He's back to his high 90s. The slider's working. He's still working on the cutter. Some off speed. I think he still needs to tweak some off speed, but he looks great. It's just a great sign. Him and Stanton together, just those two. The signs are pointing up for our team, and we need it. We need him to come through. So bad this year because Cole being down is huge, and if him and Stroman can hold the line for a while for the first 2 months, I mean that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. NFE, I want to throw it over to you and then throw it over to the fly guy, Mr. Damian Serrano, because I know he may have to dip back and go back to work. But NFE, I'll throw it over to you and then get Damian in, and then we're gonna throw it over to Michael Caputo and his Babe Ruth hat. Go ahead, NFE.
No, you know what, man? That performance by Rodon the other day, great performance, man. He pitched, just a little over 5 innings, was pitching a no-hitter, only had 1 walk. I mean, that was awesome. The fact that he's pitching in spring training is already good news, where he didn't even have that a year ago. So, I know a lot of people have their question marks about Rodon. Personally, I feel confident in him. I've been feeling confident in him even when the season was over. I was like, this guy will have a bounce back here. He just needs to stay healthy. And, just like Giancarlo, he slimmed down and he's looking good. And I liked how he's looking on the mound. I mean, I'm confident that he's going to do well. I have a feeling he's going to step up big. He's going to have to step up big as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's the number 1 guy now in the rotation. So, yeah, I have no complaints over Rodon, and that performance was great, like I said. And that when Torre came out and took the ball from him, I thought that was pretty classy move. that was awesome.
Yeah, but honestly, I was tearing up, bro, because it was bringing me back to my childhood, seeing Joe Torre come out there to make a pitching change. I just want to highlight this from my guy, 19 some water and stay healthy. Absolutely. Make sure you guys are drinking your water, and also make sure you're checking out on your friends when it comes to mental health. You guys know I'm a big advocate for mental health, and around this time of the year, mental health takes a big rapid decline right next to the holiday seasons, November and December. So if you guys have anybody in your life that is struggling, please reach out to them and make sure everybody's good. NFE, my fault. Keep going, brother. Keep cooking.
No, it's all good. But no, that was awesome when Torre came out and took the ball from him. I thought that was great. That just like I missed seeing those days of when Torre used to come out and take the ball from the pitcher. So hopefully that was like some sort of motivator for Rodon to be like, you know what, it gives him some sort of like fire, some sort of power to go out there and do well this year. Because he, to get the ball taken away from a guy like that, I mean, it's got to be a great feeling. So, like I said, I feel that Rodon is going to have a good year. He's never been. As far as this year goes, he wasn't the question mark for me in that starting rotation. So, like I said, I feel good about him.
Okay, copy. Damian Serrano. Let me throw it over to the fly guy, Damian. Go ahead, brother.
Man, Rodon's looking great. I said it from the very beginning. He's been on track exactly step by step what he's done in San Francisco for his spring training. I know, like I said before, we all wanted to see that velo, but he's got to be careful. He's a very important piece to our puzzle. So the velo is going to be there. As we see, it's climbing up every start through the spring. And we don't want him to blow his arm out first, second start of the spring. So as you guys see, it's creeping up 94. Then it went up 95. This last game, 96, 97. So Rodon is right there. He's on track, and he's gonna have a huge season for this team. And he's gonna shut a lot of haters up. And he's gonna prove every hater that the 27 million was absolutely worth it. And so Rodon's gonna be on track for a monster season. And look out, because we're finally going to have that 1-2 with Cole and Rodon. And more importantly, we're going to have those guys for the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, pitching is big, obviously, in the regular season, but it's 10 times more important in the playoffs. So the offense, to everybody else's point, the offense is going to carry us through the season. But now coming into the playoffs, that's when we're really going to focus on Garrett, focus on Rodon, focus on, of course, Stroh. So this is a huge step for Rodon, and he's going to continue to do what he's doing right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm right there with you. And hopefully Carlos Rodon, my guy Richie Rivera put it in the chat. Also, make sure you guys go and support my guy Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball. They put out amazing work over there. Even though one of his co-hosts, Joe, is a douchebag Met fan, I still respect and support that channel. Shout out to my guy Richie Rivera. But Richie said, if we can get 3/4 of what Carlos Rodon was from 2021 to 2022, you got yourself a top 10 pitcher in Major League Baseball. Absolutely, Richie Rivera. Damian, I just want to make sure you good on your timing, bro. You able to rock out, or you got to dip back off to work?
Actually, I'm about to dip, but guys, I appreciate it. Hector, next week,
yes, sir.
Pre-game, everybody in the chat, tune in.
Yes,
me and Hector gonna start it off, and go Yankees, fellas. Everybody have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Jonathan. Caputo, keep thugging, all right?
Yeah, keep thugging, Michael Caputo.
See you,
Damian, appreciate you, brother. That's my guy, Mr. Damian Serrano, who will be helping me out on the Yankees pregame report. A lot of the people from our community, from our open panel, will be a part of the pregame report as well. If there's anybody out there on Twitter or on X, you guys know I'm not shy when it comes to sharing camera time. I don't like to be the only person on the screen. So if you guys want to come and do the pregame report, let me know. Shoot me a text, shoot me a DM. But I want to throw it over to my guy, Michael Caputo, who stole that hat from David Wells' closet last night. Caputo, how are you feeling, my guy? I know the Yankees need starting pitching, but going to steal a hat from David Wells' closet, I think that's a bit out of a pocket. Caputo, what's your thoughts?
It's actually a 1996 hat. So it's old, but it's not that old. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about this team is their pitching. I don't have a problem with their lineup. I just want to get a pitching. And if it's true about the Jordan Montgomery rumors, that I'll feel a lot better with the starting pitching now that I did a couple of months ago. But we've heard these stories before, and then it's just a smoke screen, and to get excited for nothing. But if they get Montgomery, and I'm not a big Jordan Montgomery guy, I would be very happy, actually. I feel a lot better about this rotation when Cole comes back in 3 months, because without Garrett Cole, I'm very nervous now with this. With the rotation, man. The offense won't be a problem. I mean, but got to get that pitching in order, because they are like two pieces away. So, and then as far as third base goes, maybe they could sign Donovan Solano for, like on a 1-year deal, since Jay is going to be out. We'll call Vivas. So yeah, I mean, I just hope they actually get a pitcher, man, because I'm worried about that rotation. But other than that, everything looks pretty good.
Yeah, they have some options out there. This is not a time where Brian Cashman in the front office folds their hand and they don't add, right? I think Gio Urshela, I think the Tigers are getting ready to waive him. He may be an option for the New York Yankees to have. But I want to throw it over to Jonathan and Sunil and get them in the conversation as well. Before we switch topics, and we got to talk about two people left. We got Aaron Judge and we got Mr. DJ LeMahieu. And I want my guy NFE to lead the conversation for Aaron Judge. So go ahead, Jonathan, and then go ahead, Sunil. NFE, at any point, if you got to dip out, you just let me know, brother, because I know you got your own life that you gotta navigate. So go ahead, Jonathan. Mr. Birthday Guy. Listen, I'm not gonna do a Marilyn Monroe birthday song for you, okay? I know you wanted that. You text me last night saying you wanted that on the stream. I can't do that.
I didn't text you last night. I actually texted you.
Yes, you did. Stop lying.
I texted you.
No, go ahead.
About half an hour ago.
Yeah, let's be careful. Hector trying to sing would basically just set the show off the rails.
Yeah, well, sorry about that.
Hector singing. Well, I have enough people in my life who can sing, so
okay.
I'll leave it to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Exactly. Where's Grace Monroe when you need her? Go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, hey, I got her number on speed dial. I can call her.
I have to.
She's right here. She's right here in Texas.
Yeah, no, Grace Monroe. For those of you guys that don't know, Grace Monroe is an actual Marilyn Monroe like cosplayer. She goes around, she gets paid to does that. So Grace Monroe, besides talking Yankees on the channel, she is a Maryland. She's very talented as well. Shout out to our homie Grace Monroe. And talking about Grace Monroe, make sure you guys tune in this Saturday for the GG show. Her and our guy Gio, Unpopular Opinion. Go ahead, Jonathan.
There's one thing I wanted to ask you about the GG show, because every time I look for it, it seems like YouTube I don't get either a notification or there's something about that time on Saturday that just doesn't pop up on YouTube or around me.
Well, they were off for the last 2 weeks. We didn't have a show, so they should have one this Saturday. So that's probably why, Jonathan. Go ahead, Jonathan. Let's get your take when it comes to Carlos Rodon. I got to throw it over to Sunil and then NFE. Yes. Go ahead.
As far as Carlos Rodon, look, if he continues to pitch well, then you basically have your number 2 or number 3 starter right there. If he can give you 15 to 18 wins, maybe 200 strikeouts plus, and not have an injury, yeah, you have a full healthy Rodon. He might give you a good season.
Yeah, I don't
be
think
a legit number 2 or 3 starter.
And this is the moment we need Carlos Rodon to step up, right? After the Garrett Cole news came out, both for the starts since then, it's been solid starts. Right. Guarantee you, if Carlos Rodon would have had 2 starts and he gave up 5 runs each start, Michael Caputo would have lost his goddamn mind and probably would have shaved his head bald.
The one thing we do not want to see from Rodon is a Pavano. Right.
Yeah. I want to throw it over to Sunil to get his take when it comes to Carlos Rodon, and then I want to throw it over to NFE to lead the conversation when it comes to Aaron Judge. Go ahead, Sunil.
So when Joe Torre came out to take Rodon out of that Philadelphia start in spring training, I'm not going to lie, I expected Rodon to go full Mike Mussina like he did in 2001 in Boston. Basically, stay back in the dugout. Okay. I expected him. I mean, that's the type of bulldog he is. Now, echoing some of the points that have been made here, Carlos Rodon's career high in wins in Chicago and San Francisco. His last year in Chicago, he won 13. That 1 or 2 years in San Francisco, he won 14 games in that full season. That's his career high. So we have a pretty tall ask to basically get him to get 15 to 18 wins. But, with some, speculation behind the performances in Chicago and San Francisco, you can attribute some of those to being no decisions or, any of the other circumstantial situations that can happen. Coming to an earlier conversation on Stanton, though, I can't lie. We had a hailstorm here in Texas. I thought we were having another one because all 3 home runs of his landed right in front of my backyard here in Texas.
Well, how about this? How about you save me one of those balls so we could get it over to Celso because he is a big Giancarlo Stanton fan. Appreciate you, Sunil, for that take. Empire State of Baseball, Richie said, every time Caputo smiles, an angel gets its rings. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I got a video I want to play. It's just 1 minute. It's going to lead us in the conversation when it comes to Aaron Judge. This is our guys over there at WFAN, Evan Roberts, and we're going to talk about Aaron Judge and him coming back after that injury.
Shave that beard.
Oh, wait, there's no audio.
Series more so
I gotta get...
the Yankee team I've witnessed in the Aaron. And I see a Yankee team that has the better chance of winning a World Series more so than any Yankee team I've witnessed in the Aaron Judge era. How many years, Yankee fans, did you go in thinking, hey, we got the team? 2018, the year after, when you brought in Giancarlo, Stanton, but still had questions in the rotation. Masahiro Tanaka's pitching with a partially torn UCL. Luis Severino's trying to prove he's legit. Plus, you were coming off a season no one saw coming. Was it 2019? Was it 2020? But then the pandemic got involved. Was it 2021? This season, they added the best bat they have added in a long time in Juan Soto. And so despite the injury questions that are around this team, I, as just a baseball fan, I look at this team and I say, man, I think I feel better about their chances winning it all this year than I have really in the last decade. And I don't know if I get the sense that Yankee fans feel that way. I get a sense, Tiki, maybe I'm nuts, that the Yankee fan is afraid.
So we're going to have that conversation and talking about Aaron Judge. And I agree with him. This is probably the best team that they put together around Aaron Judge in the Aaron Judge era. And Anna Marie, you're right. That beard is wild. I don't know what the hell he got in that shit. But NFE, I'm going to throw it over to you. Lead the conversation when it comes to Aaron Judge, his health, and what Evan Roberts was talking about. Are Yankee fans scared to buy into the idea of the Yankees going all the way this season? Go ahead, NFE.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand why Yankees fans aren't feeling confident about the season, because it's been 15 years, right, since the Yankees won a World Series. So it's like they just think it's going to be another down year. So they're afraid that, something bad is going to happen. There's all this bad luck around this team. But as far as, is this the best, chance that the Yankees could win a World Series with Aaron Judge? With Aaron Judge being on this team? Absolutely. I mean, previous years, they had opportunities. The problem was, he brought up guys like Severino. Severino was just getting hurt. He could have been that guy. He could have been that ace. Like, I like Severino. I really did. But unfortunately, it's just injuries plagued him. The Yankees could have, in those previous years, they could have adapted and made additional moves. They were there. They were just like a couple of pieces away. They were like one or two players away in a couple of those years, but they didn't make the necessary moves that they needed to make. So as far as this year goes, the Yankees have a much better chance. Absolutely. Especially when you talk about the addition of Juan Soto, the addition of Alex Verdugo, those two guys alone, having those two guys in the lineup, it's already so much better than where the Yankees were last year, where you don't have Josh Donaldson, you don't have Aaron Hicks, you don't have the Willie Calhouns and the Frenchie Corderos and those other guys. So, I feel like, but again, I feel like the some Yankees fans are afraid to buy into this year because they're just afraid that something is going to go wrong because they're so, their brains are already like tuned into like the previous years. Like, oh no, it's going to be another bad year. It's going to be a flop. So
yeah,
but I think this is the best opportunity that Aaron Judge has right now. I think that he's surrounded by a much, much, much better team this year than the previous years.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. This is not the team that was relying on J.A. Happ to be their number 2 starter. This is not the team that was relying on the big maple that we traded from the Seattle Mariners to be a number 2, James Paxton, to be a number 2 in your starting rotation. This is a different team. This is not the Yankees going out there and getting Matt Holliday, who's 1 year from retiring, to be a big contributor in your lineup. This is a different team. Go ahead, TC. And then want to throw it over to Caputo, Jonathan, and Sunil to get their takes on the subject matter. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, NFE makes great points, but you're right. I mean, this is probably since 2017, because we weren't supposed to win that year, and we made it all the way to the ALCS. So we were expecting the next year to come out and perform better and better and get better, and they're getting presumably worse since then, and none of the guys worked out. All the rookies, all the guys you mentioned who were brought in, but to bring in a Juan Soto just gives the Yankees fan base that much hope. Like this is the year you guys went out and got probably the best player in baseball right now, one of the best players, to go to be around Aaron Judge, to have a healthy Stanton come back, and don't forget Rodon. That's an ad as well. He wasn't there last year till maybe the last month, and he sucked. So, I mean, they've added some pieces. Verdugo, a healthy Rizzo, DJ's banged up a little, but a healthy LeMahieu, and some of the other sprinkled rookies coming up that they're all high on, Wells and Volpe, and it's just this is a year. This is a promising year, and it is. Yankee fans are used to, oh my God, here we go again. The injuries, always down. This year feels a little different, except for the cold. The cold news really put a damper in everything. Yeah. But I think they still can rally. I still think this team can make it when Cole comes back. If they're hanging around, this is the closest they're going to get since 2009. I mean, they got to do it. It's been way too long.
Yeah, definitely. Before I get to the other fellas on the open panel, I got somebody backstage, one of the big content creators in the Yankee space that I got a lot of respect for, my guy Jason from 161 River Ave. Yeah. Jay, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you ready to rock out. He's ready to go. Jay, how you doing, fly guy? Good middle of the day. How's everything, bro?
Good. I'm not sure if you guys mentioned it yet, but there's some news to report.
Okay. Go ahead.
On Shohei Ohtani, 2 wire transfers have been found with his name on it, $500K apiece.
Wow.
Okay, they tried to put everything on his translator, and now they're finding out that he might be connected to this.
Wow. This is
God. The news. I heard about that last night.
Yeah, the news is coming out. I'm trying to get all the information on it, but I know Craig Carton, former host at WFAN. I follow him on on Twitter, and this is what he put out earlier when talking about Shohei Ohtani. The Ohtani story is a real problem. 3 different reasons. 1, money being wired to bookies. It warrants immediate suspension because it violates the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. 2nd, claiming theft means that his friend or his interpreter could be facing jail time. 3, compulsive gambler losing like that would try to get it back by betting on a sport he knows, which is baseball, talking about his interpreter. From a legal perspective, the Ohtani camp changing its tune from Ohtani helping a friend to Ohtani being the victim of theft/fraud changes the game completely for the interpreter, because now he is subject to the criminal charges for wire fraud and embezzlement. Now, if Shohei Ohtani is linked to those wire transactions, Shohei Ohtani not only could be suspended by Major League Baseball, he could face federal charges because now you're wire transferring money to entities that aren't legally recognized. NFB, I'll throw it over to you because I know you got to dip out in a few minutes. So I'll throw it over to you. Give us your take on the situation, and then you could dip out, brother.
Yeah, no, I got like 5 or 6 more minutes, so I'm good.
Copy. Go ahead.
But and I asked you, and I sent you a question in the private chat there, Hector. But real quick, what I wanted to say about the whole Ohtani thing, that is crazy. That is just some crazy news that I was shocked. My question is, I guess, it was wired from his account by his interpreter. That's the way I read it. And tell me if I'm wrong. But how do you have your account be handled by somebody else? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, why would
someone that's not that doesn't have a job and handling money like that, right? It'd be different if his interpreter was his agent or his manager or his financial advisor. He's just an interpreter.
Yeah.
I love TC Stills as my co-host. I'm not giving that man my debit card. I'm sorry. I'm not doing. I love Caputo. I love Jonathan. I love Sunil. I love Jason. I love Celso, Mr. Jigga Man Porto. I'm not leaving my debit card with any of you guys.
I mean, if you did, it's okay. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Just
yeah, of course you would. Yeah, of course you would.
God knows how many rocks he would kick with it, though.
Yeah. But Jason, I want to throw it back to you to get your take on what I just read when it comes to like the different rules. What do you think is going to happen with this, bro?
Well, I think as we are right now, Ohtani's innocent until proven guilty, right? So is his translator.
Mm-hmm.
And the accusations have not become the proof yet. Now, he is subject to all kinds of crimes and jail time, blah, blah, blah. But if his translator turns out to be only partially guilty and Ohtani's the other guilty party, Ohtani's got to face the fire too. And I don't give a shit how marketable he is. He should be banned from baseball like Pete Rose. Period. End of story.
Pete Rose was the hit king. He was the hit king.
Yeah. That's I mean, I know he's a generational player, the next Babe Ruth and blah, blah, blah. But if you gamble and this is that dirty, the Rays have to pay Juan DeFranco for the next decade. You'll never have to play for him again. Yeah. Dodgers should have to pay for Ohtani's contract too. Never have to play with him again either. So, and this is why, I'm glad that the Yankees dodged a bullet with Ohtani. I mean, I could not have foreseen something like this, but but even so, it's. I do think if he turns out to be guilty, he should be banned like Pete Rose.
Yeah, no, and like I said, Pete Rose was the hit king at the time. It's not like Pete Rose was in the middle of his career. No, he was already established. Weedy commercials. Everybody was saying he is the greatest hitter of all time when this information came out. Right, so the same energy should be had with Shohei Ohtani. I see a lot of people saying when it comes to Japan, right? Culturally, betting on games is frowned upon, right? Gambling on sports games is frowned upon in Japan. Now, you could go to the casinos, to the slot machines. They got different gambling. That's big over there in their culture. But when it comes to the sport, either baseball, whatever sport you play, they take pride in that, and they frown upon players getting involved in gambling. At the same time, the MPB or the league is nationalized by the country of Japan. So that league gets paid by taxpayers' money. So that's why it's frowned upon when it comes to gambling over there on the sport. The other side of it, going to the slot machines, that's okay. That's a part of the culture. I think Shohei Ohtani is going to be looked down on by his people because of all this news that's coming out right now. It's a black stain not only for baseball but for the international community when it comes to Japanese players wanting to come over to the States.
And can you imagine had he been in New York had this happened?
Oh God. If he was on if you're a Met fan, you dodged the bullet. If you're a Met fan out there that wanted Steve Cohen to give Shohei Ohtani a blank check for $700-800 million, you dodged the bullet right there. Yeah. Because it would have been the Mets' luck for them to go out there and give out the biggest contract in Major League Baseball history to a player to come over to get suspended for gambling. That would be the most Met shit ever to happen. NFE, I want to throw it over to you because I know you got to dip out in a few minutes. I want to throw it over to you to get your last take on the subject, and then I'll toss it over to Caputo, Sunil, and Jonathan as well. And I mean, CC, then Sunil, Jonathan, Caputo. Go ahead, NFE.
All good. Nah, I appreciate you, Hector. And it's just like TC put in the comments, you can't pick and choose who gets banned. If they do the crime, they do the time. I absolutely agree with that. And if all these allegations are true, I don't care. I don't care about how great Shohei Ohtani is. He needs to be out. He needs to be out. Keep him out the game. Again, there needs to be proof, right? There's going to be an investigation done. And they're gonna try and find the evidence if it is true as far as the wiring, the money, and the gambling and all that. Like, yeah, there's no place for it. Unfortunately, the funny thing is with that too is, I feel like this type of thing happens a lot. It's just a matter of who gets busted.
Yeah,
it happens more often.
Unfortunately,
than we think. So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, and it sucks because then it's like fans like us, we can't enjoy the game. We can't enjoy these players, and it's just like Shohei Ohtani. Unfortunately, like I said, we'll see what if he's innocent, if he's guilty. We don't know yet, but but this whole the way he carries himself when he shows himself on TV, you think he's a good guy, he's a humble guy, but if these allegations are true, then I guess you're not the guy who we thought we were.
And also, if there's anybody in our chat, if there's anybody watching us, if there's anyone out there that suffers from gambling addiction, reach out, because you can get help, right? Don't think we're just up here shaming somebody that has a gambling addiction. We don't know if Shohei or that interpreter has a gambling addiction like that. So if there's anyone out there that suffers from that, we're not shaming that type of addiction, right? Don't think we're shaming that whatsoever. Please get help. Please reach out. But when it comes to the business aspect for Major League Baseball, it is just a black stain on the sport right now. TC, I want to throw it over to you and then swing it back over to Caputo, Jonathan, and Sunil as well. Go ahead, T.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for baseball that these type issues let's leave a black eye on the sport. I mean, so many times this has happened, and it's unfortunate these players think they're above the law. That then things come out, get leaked, and you get caught, and you, like I said in the chat, you do the crime, you do the time. I mean, sorry, you can't pick and choose who he's the top player in baseball. I'm sorry, if he's found guilty, which he has not yet, he needs to be banned. Sorry,
yeah,
sorry. That's that's my take on that, and sorry, too bad.
There should be enough information out there for them to suspend him right now. To suspend him there's enough information out there right now for him to get suspended before the season even starts and have to be at home and wait to go through the process of this thing. The baseball fans, the Dodger fans shouldn't have to deal with this. Shohei Ohtani, it's not the fault of the Dodger organization or the Dodgers fans. I'm not blaming them whatsoever. This is a reflection on Shohei Ohtani and how he acts. My guy Lou, somebody put it in the chat. Lou put it in the chat. Ain't no interpreter out there that got $4.5 million to spend like that. Your job's not that good when it comes to helping translate different languages. And then 19 comment says Ohtani got married without the team or teammates. Right there knows that he's very secretive when it comes to a lot of his dealings. Caputo, I want to get your take real quick on it, then throw it over to Jonathan, Sunil. I'm gonna bring on my guy Nathan to join us in on the conversation. Nathan, let me get a thumbs up, big time. My guy right here. My guy Nathan Ramachandra. Salute, Nathan. Just hold on 1 second. I'm gonna throw it around to the panel and I'll get to you, Nathan. Go ahead, Caputis.
Okay, yeah, the Dodgers after this now, I think Ohtani just this was not good. It's not a good look. This guy's supposed to be like the ambassador of baseball, and I have to say I was a big Ohtani fan, but now after this, and I'm telling you, the Dodgers this derailed this season. I think this is gonna definitely distract them, and I hope they choke. I really hope it'll be a beautiful, beautiful sight. If the Dodgers choke now, I'd love to see this team choke. It'll take nothing more for this team to choke. I would love to see this team just choke now, because this is what I was waiting for. I want to see them choke with Ohtani and Yamamoto, because they would be the big bad super team that all the pressure on them, and they'll be the biggest laughing stock. And we won't be the laughing stock anymore. It'll be the Dodgers, because the Dodgers always do this every year. Buy it, and they lose. And I hope they choke again.
Caputo, I'm going to give you an immunity necklace right now, right? So whatever you say after I ask you this question, nobody's going to judge you. But I'm going to put the necklace on you right now, and I want to ask you a question. With this news coming out about the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto getting lit up earlier this morning, are you happy? Look at that smile on your face.
Yes, he is.
You're this happy bastard right now, seeing what the Dodgers are going through, Caputo. I want to throw it over to
smile. That smile is rounder than the equator around the earth.
That's a fact right there. So now, Jonathan,
for this to happen. I wanted this team to choke like a dog.
I'm gonna throw it over to Jonathan. Thank you, Uncle Grandpa Tats, with another $4.99 super chat. He said Manfred and MLB will do whatever it takes to distance themselves from Ohtani. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, if Ohtani is found guilty, he should be given the Pete Rose treatment. And that's really all. As from what I know about the information, and I too have to get going because I told you it's my birthday today.
Oh, good. Yeah, go and celebrate your birthday. Go have your mimosas. Go ahead, Jonathan.
So
I don't hear the 50 Cent coming in the background.
Well, that means the phone is off. But yes, if Ohtani is found guilty, he should be given the Pete Rose treatment and banned from baseball. That's it. So thank you again,
Jonathan.
for
Appreciate you.
Jonathan.
Enjoy your birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
I can't wait to go to many games this year with you, Jonathan. Hit
I'll
me
try
up.
to
We're
be
gonna go to
at
so many games.
at that the 20th April 20th game next because I still have the ticket. And
So you
Jason,
let us know.
I'll see you on your live stream whenever your next live stream is. I'll try to be in the chat. You know I'm always there.
Yeah, brother.
All right, Jonathan. Enjoy your birthday, my guy. Shout out to Jonathan. Sunil, I want to throw it over to you to get your take when it comes to Shohei, and then throw it over to Jason, and then we're gonna throw it over to Nathan, and then we're going to start wrapping things up. NFE, just want to ask you one more time because I want to respect your time. You good to rock out until we close out?
What time we closing out?
Probably like within 10 minutes.
I'm good for like the next. Yeah, we're good. I'll be on here for like the next five. All
right, bet. So I want to throw it over to Sunil to get his take, and then Jason, and then we're going to throw it over to Nathan to get ready to wrap things up. Donnie Clark, I see you backstage right now. I'm going to try to get to everybody real quick, and if I do have time, I'll bring you up to give us your take. I'm sorry about that, bro. I wish we had more time. I just got an important doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock that I got to try to get to. So Sunil, go ahead, brother.
So I'm curious, with all the negative stigma that surrounds Shohei Ohtani, what happens to that contract for the Dodgers? Do they still have to eat it, or can it be voided because of the adversity surrounding this? That's one. And secondly, maybe Pete Rose should go out and buy a Japanese Rosetta Stone course and, vindicate himself for what's going on here.
Oh man, Jason, I want to throw it over to you. Jason, get your final take when it comes to Shohei. What do you think the punishment should be, if any?
Well, if he's found guilty, I would ban him from baseball. And as far as we know right now, the Dodgers would be liable for his contract. They're 100% guaranteed. Like the Rays cannot escape Juan DeFranco's contract.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't think the Dodgers are going to be able to escape this, but I don't know how gambling poses a different standard. But when Pete Rose did it, he was already done playing, right? So he did it as a manager. And to Caputo's point, I'm happy. It's happy to see Yamamoto get lit up too. But I am, I do think it's appropriate to give him a little bit of a grace period. Like we'd want to give him a grace period if he was a Yankee too. I think he's going to he'll adjust at some point. But this is why I don't attach this ridiculous hype to people. And people already have Roki Sasaki being 10 times better than Ace Garrett Cole. And they have him being the next great thing. And they have him going to the Dodgers, just like Murakami. They have all these guys pegged to the Dodgers already, right? And being 10 times better. What does Roki Sasaki do that other pitchers in the major leagues have not done? Nothing. This is why I don't attach this crazy hype, right, to certain folks. So I would, personally, I would temper that type of stuff with Yamamoto. I do think he'll adjust. But is it nice to see him get lit up? Yeah, it's really nice to see him get lit up. So, but I don't agree. I want him to get lit up in the Bronx when it comes to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah. That series, I think it's in June or July. That's going to be a very toxic series now with all this coming out and Yamamoto.
I'll be there.
Oh man, I'm gonna be there too, Jason. I'm gonna link up with you. We got to do some content that day. I'm planning on being there, bro.
I'll be there.
I think one of those games may be on Jason's birthday. Isn't that right? On the 25th or something?
Mine's the 19th. The games are the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay. So we'll figure it out. And we are 50 subs away from 4K. The Morning Brew Sports, we are going to turn things up this year when it comes to our coverage on the Knicks, on the Yankees, on the Jets, on the Giants, on the Rangers, and on the Liberty. And this Friday, make sure you guys tune in. We got a show called The Pop Off, right? It has different actors. We got different guys. Nigel Donner, who's an actor in Canada. We got our guy, Khalid Brown. It's so many different guys involved in that show. It's a real good show. Do you guys like the new logo? Like Celso said, new logo. You like the new logo? Okay. Nathan, my guy, I want to throw it over to you. What's your take with this whole Ohtani situation, bro? You're coming hot.
Yeah, first of all, thank you as always for having me here, Hector, and obviously I love the new logo, Todd, Hector, everyone here in this chat, love it. Keep it up. And speaking of, Hector, before I get to my point, speaking of Liberty, we got Brianna Stewart coming April 20th to Woodbridge.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so Brianna Stewart. But so to my take with Ohtani is, I agree with all of you guys, 100%. I think if they find him guilty, he should get banned for the rest of time. He can't play baseball anymore. If he does find himself guilty, or if they find him guilty, he does not deserve to be on the baseball field or pitch on the mound anymore. And like Jason said, it has to be like the Pete Rose situation. But this is going to be in different circumstances because he's currently a player. Pete Rose was a manager when it happened. So they obviously this might take a while because they have to gather all the information, investigate with all what's going on here with Ohtani and then the PR guy. But once they get all that, and if they find him guilty, they gotta ban him right away because this is not they can't. It's not tolerated. They can't tolerate this, and baseball is going through this again situation with Pete Rose. So so they got to make the right move by banning him if he's guilty. So I agree. I'm on board with all of you guys, 100%.
Yeah. And guys, I'm sorry to cut the show right now at 12:30, but we got to come to a hard stop right now. Appreciate everybody who tuned into the show. Donnie Clark, I do apologize, Donnie. This is what I'm gonna do, Donnie. In the private messages, I'm putting in my cell phone number in the private messages, Donnie. That way you could text me. I have your number, and on the next show, I send you the link before I put it out there, so we can have you come on to the show Tuesday night before anybody else does. Donnie, I do apologize. I just got to cut it off short right now. I know you're backstage right now. I'm just bring you up just so. I'm sorry, Donnie. I just got to cut it off real quick, Donnie. Appreciate you. I know I've seen you in the chat so many times. This is your first time on the open panel. Just give us your take real quick when it comes to Shohei Ohtani. What's your thoughts? How you feeling? And we got to get out. Go ahead, Donnie.
Hey, Hector. Well, I'm thinking that. My mic. What I'm thinking is that if Ohtani did it, he should be suspended just like he usually has been. So I think if you do the crime, like Tisa said, do the time and stuff. So I think I don't care how much revenue he's bringing in MLB. Like Uncle Tat said, they probably won't. But you're setting a back example for all this younger generation coming in and stuff. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, definitely. Donnie, again, brother, you got my number. It's in the private chat. Make sure you message me so I can have your number. Tuesday night, I'm coming back. I'll be live 8 o'clock on 9 p.m. I will have Eldon Sicario, and I will have my guy Ruben from NYY News. We will have a nice show, and we're setting it up perfectly because Tuesday night is going to be the last off-season show when it comes to the Yankees Morning Brew, because now we're going into the season. Thursday, we're going to do the pregame report at 11 o'clock in the morning. My guy Damian Serrano, TC Stills, and any of the guys that are part of the clique. If you guys want to be down, you guys are more than welcome to be down. But my guy NFP, appreciate you. TC Stills, like always, appreciate you. Michael Caputo, I know you get frustrated. I know you get upset, but just know I love you, my guy. We've known each other for like going on 2 to 3 years right now, Caputo. I love and I appreciate you. Sunil as well. Donnie Clark, always appreciate you in the chat. And my guy, Nathan Ramachandra from the NNR Hour. Me and Nathan are going to be doing a lot of stuff this season when it comes to events at Woodbridge, when it comes to events at Yankee Stadium, Madison Square Garden. So be on the lookout. And until next time, make sure you drink your water. Make sure you say something nice to your neighbor. And until next time, deuces.